Biggity bam!
We're back.
I'm Corbin, and this is Joanna. She has her regular cup of coffee.
It's hot. It's hot.
She loves her coffee. I was gonna say in the morning, but it's not in the morning. It's the afternoon.
It is morning time still.
No, it's 2:08 p.m.
Sorry.
So yeah.
I feel like it's morning time though.
Well, I mean, because everything kind of just went by so quickly. Sorry. Okay, so I was looking at these rapid fire questions.
Can we tell the title or the topic or
the topic right now? Like starting off with, we're going to just open up with 3 rapid fire questions for Joanna.
Don't make them all.
No, I mean, look, you can't. You already. I'm gonna just start with them.
Okay. Nope. You can't control the narrative, Joann.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let her know, guys.
Let her know. You can't control the narrative. There, I told her.
So, number 1. If your life was a movie, what would it be called? Or I guess,
my life was a movie.
What would it be called? Or what kind of genre would you put your life in?
Action. Blow up. Anything military or political, blow up, conspiracy. A Few Good Men.
There's a scene to that. Mm-hmm. What was the last concert you went to?
I'm trying to think.
It's been a long time for me.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Whoa!
Yeah.
EWF!
And when they sang, or there's no words to that particular, Summer Madness by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, man. I'm telling, I had my goddaughter on top of my shoulders. Well, she was young back then, but the person behind me was way pissed off because I needed her to know Earth, Wind, and Fire. If there was any legacy I was going to give her, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
EWF.
And I also go to New Edition concerts every year. So
I think all of EWF passed away, I think.
No.
No?
You have Philip Bailey and you have the guy that does he has longer hair and he's always he's still alive, and so is Morris White died, and then the drummer died, but the other fella, I forget his name, he's still alive.
Oh, okay.
Like, can we not spread vicious lies?
No, I'm not spreading lies. I'm not spreading lies. It was
misinformation.
I wasn't spreading it. I said I think.
Well, you thought wrong.
Well,
don't play with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Don't play.
Do you believe in aliens?
I believe in you. Do I personally believe in aliens? Is there other life out there besides the human race? Perhaps. But so. I contribute it to the spirit world. As far as aliens coming down like Mork and Mindy. That Mork and Mindy kind of, Mork and Mindy, he was all like this. No. But shout outs to Mork and Mindy. You know that show?
Yes.
Oh. Why do you know that show?
What do you mean why? You act
because
like
you're young.
I am 33 years old. You act like I was born in 2015.
You were born in 1989, and Mork and Mindy was well over. So
was Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was technically before my. Well, did Ren and Stimpy come out in the 90s?
Is that a cartoon?
Yes, it is.
You know Land of the Lost?
Nope. I know Land Before Time.
No. Land of the Lost. Oh, do you know Kids Incorporated?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the 80s. I know.
DS.
I know the Mickey Mouse Club.
Hit me with one more, babe.
All right. Do you shower in the night or in the morning?
Morning, and during the summer, at night and morning. I'm a morning person. She is in the night.
I guess. I mean, I could go either way.
You do more showering in the night. So when you take showers in the morning, I'm like, what do you... Sway, what are you doing?
She poses it. She's just, you're taking a shower? As if I don't shower.
Just hit it right here.
No, I have to. It's a touch thing.
But so is that.
I know, but I have to do. It only does that. You know what I'm
I shower.
saying?
Period. Morning. This morning. Well, yeah, this morning. Oh, that's another episode.
Well, now that that's over.
Thanks. Thanks. What are we going to do today? What's on the agenda for this vlog?
The agenda for this vlog is Joanna Lopez Vasquez is going to be sharing her testimony with us.
Are you going to interview me?
I'm going to try my bestest because Corbin is not good with questions.
Hold on. Can I ask you why you're wearing a coat and I'm not?
Well, because it was feeling like Antarctica / Iceland when I walked back in here. And then when I got cozy
and I'm dripping because I'm having a full-blown hot flash because I'm in the middle of menopause and she has to suited in. And I told her, give me 5 more minutes of the AC on, like penguins were running around.
And I had to bundle up.
And so I said, if there was any commercial on what love looks like, it would be like one person just dripping and the other one has a coat on. And you didn't turn it off, so I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, no. Just bundled up, and now I don't feel like taking it off. But it's okay.
Oh my God, that was funny.
So, anyways.
I'm sorry. It's rough. I'm still like, my cheeks are still... Those are my notes, not yours.
I don't even know. Okay. Okay,
well,
so...
can you pretend we barely met? Because, literally we did.
I mean, yeah, we just met last.
You want me to help you? I'll start it out.
What's last month?
In person,
yeah.
And we met 2 years ago on virtual.
On Zoom. So
computer.
How did Joanna become Joanna?
How did I become Joanna? That's a broad statement. It is.
How did you?
Jose and Syria met in Oxnard, California. They went to Oxnard High School.
Okay, maybe not that far back.
Okay.
Maybe not that far.
Because I was going to give you like 1973.
No.
Here's a fun fact. My grandmother, my mother, and I went all to the same high school at different times.
Wow.
Oxnard.
Not me.
Yellow Jackets.
So,
shout outs to all the Yellow Jackets out there.
Okay.
Class of 93.
Okay.
I got to wrap it up, Simon.
Okay. So, just tell us about how you got to your to come to know the Lord.
3 years old. I call it, if there was any drug problem I ever had in my life, it started at 3 and it took me all the way well into almost 20 some years old, because by then I broke out. Breaking Bad. I was out. I tapped out. I was out, like, I'm leaving. But anyways, that was my first drug problem because my mom dragged me to church. She dragged me to church on Sunday, on Friday, on Wednesday, on women's Bible study, on intercessory prayer, on picnics, on bake sales. That was my version of that was my first drug problem, being dragged to church. From 3 years old all the way on, it was like, I don't remember. One of my first memories was riding around in the van with my pastors, Pastors Bill and I believe her name was Esther. They're both passed away. Actually, all my pastors have passed, other than the ones that I have now, PT and Pastor Sarah and
Bishop,
and the Bishop, and also Pastor Darius Daniel, who is my life coach also. So it's like it's iffy. Like, it started there, but like the other day when I asked you questions like, when did I get saved? I was baptized about 10 years ago. I think 2015 or something like that.
What made you do it? Was that the first time you
ever got dipped?
What made you come to that baptism.
Baptism? Ooh, I remember that day. I was so afraid too.
Because that's a personal thing.
Well, being raised in the church, one of the things that I always say, like, being raised in the church from 3 all the way until 20. There was a lot of like religious preferences or angles or interpretations, just doctrine that wasn't always on the up and up. So I got the legality of it. So at a certain point, I walked away because I wasn't down for all the rules, from not listening to worldly music. Those grown-up church kids know what I'm talking about. Like, my mom was heavy on trying to always jack my New Edition cassettes and Troop and After 7, and I never understood it because it wasn't any evil music to me. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not evil music out there, but I was not. The only thing I suffered from was a smart mouth. I wasn't a buck wild kid on some stripper pole. Shout outs to all the stripper poles out there, but like, so I just walked away because I needed a break from religion, and I found it. Like, I don't ever regret walking away because it taught me a lot. So fast forward to living life on my terms. Remember what I told you? Your Vita Broca will always lead you to the Vita. Your Vita Loca will always lead you to the Vita Broca. So I just came to a place where I wasn't having fun anymore. I was knee deep in a career and being maybe low key or high key workaholic because I didn't have any children or a husband. So my career defined me and my achievements, and it still wasn't enough. So I was like, let me return, but on my own terms. I want no legalism. I want nothing. I just want whoever he is, I want him. And that moment was an awe moment for me. I think when my health was failing, and I was in between like 7 different surgeries, and I just came to the end of myself where I was like, if you're real, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, I will give you my life, but you need to come through. I don't want like rules. I need your heart, whatever that meant. Because you can be raised in a church and not know God. You can occupy a whole pew your entire life and not know him for him in regards to your heart. And so when I chose to get baptized, and then I did it in a full-blown like Pentecostal church, it was like next level. If you ever been to a Pentecostal church, like no makeup, long skirts, no bling, no nothing. So I roll up, short hair, don't care, earrings, pants. But that's when I found him. Like, he was all, it's you that I want. I don't want, if you don't want all the rules, neither do I. Just come to me. So I was baptized. Is that your microphone, babe?
Yeah.
That's her microphone. Was it a long answer?
No. You mentioned your health.
Yeah.
How was that dealing with the opposition when it came to your health, kind of going in the direction that it did? Like, what?
Freaking frack.
Yeah, how was that for you? Like, what did it give, like, limitations? What did it take away? What did you gain? What's been your experience, and has it gotten better? How's the Lord been?
I was about 19 years into my career with the Navy, and my goal was always to retire after 35. Because I started when I was in my mid-20s, so I could have gave the Navy a good 35 to 40 years. I would have been one of those old ladies still working that needed to hella retire. But I noticed like something, I wasn't feeling good. Like my energy just was declining. I was losing weight, and even walking up the step, like one step from the street to the sidewalk, it was like a whole chore. So I was like, something's wrong. And so I had noticed my doctor calling me, blowing up my phone. Well, his office anyway. So Robert Olt was actually, he was calling me too. Both of them were, his nurse and him. But I didn't answer the phone because I was working, I was busy, and I worked at a job where it was not always easy to get time off. And I was the one doing the schedule, so I knew like my job was to make sure that you came to work, got your lunch and your breaks. So I was on the back seat of that. And so finally I answered the call. I went, I really wasn't feeling good one day. So I broke down and went to the doctor, and I'm all like, Doc, I don't know what's going on. You need to check, run some tests. That's when he yelled at me, like you know how you pretend yell? How the exercise you did?
Pretend yell.
Like I had this man, this white man in my face telling me that there's people with whatever numbers I had regarding my hemoglobins, like people don't make it, whatever numbers it was at. Like people don't survive that. So I was all, okay, so I didn't know how to take that. So I go home. Fast forward, I'm at a what the oncologist. Go where the cancer people go. There's people around me like dancing with death. They're sitting there, and I guess it was scary. But I still was intrigued that by the numbers that I could still operate. I could still go to work. I wasn't my best. I needed help, but so that messed with my head mentally, because that whole step thing, because I walk. That's what I do. I've always been a walker. So it jacked up my thoughts, and then seeing those people sick, and then finally getting into the oncologist. And I just remember that moment where I walked in, and I'm looking at his pants, and he didn't iron them. And they were like these Dockers, these beige Dockers. And I was all like, I know you have money. Like, I know you could afford like an iron or a housekeeper to do it. So that was in my mind. And I remember that. And he's all, okay, this is the game plan. You have a blood condition. We're going to send nurses to your house. They hook, like literally, when you work for the military or the government, your insurance is optimal. It is elite. And so still not understanding everything. Now looking back, I could be like, oh, Joann, like you could have not have survived that. So the nurses came to my house, and that's when I started saying, oh, this is not normal. This is not average. So I was really like, Lord, I don't know what's going on. And that's when I grew closer to him, because I was like, I need help walking. I need help doing like normal things. So the nurses came, and I was still working full time. So I was trying to put out a schedule, and I would race home. The nurse would meet me there, hook me up to the IV. And the only thing going on at that time was like, hurry up and clean the house or make it look neat. Because if you live alone, if you throw something on the floor, it can stay there until you want to pick it up. So that was it. But I noticed like whoever God was at that time, he was becoming more tangible to me. Like I've always enjoyed my relationship with him, but it was always distant. He would impress on my heart regarding people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a gift that I operated in. Like I could read a person, but it's not me reading them. Like I would give them whatever the impression was to give them. But that gift, that was for them, not for me. So it's possible for me to operate in my calling and my gifts and still lack the discernment and the wisdom to tend to my own self. So there I go, ill, needing the Lord, and he came through. That's when I met him, like at my lowest, when I was all like, if I tap out now, I'm okay with that. Like, and it's really easy to tap out, I think, when you're not without a husband or children. So like, you're not really, in my head, my ration is, I'm not really devastating the whole ecosystem of somebody's heart. Like, So, and he wasn't like, you are not going anywhere. You're still not going anywhere. And that was like my first almost death experience, one of a few. So every time a near death experience happened, like he came through, and slowly but surely the equity, the relational equity built to the point where he's all, okay, your gifts and talents are for them. And I'll let you flow because I love them, but let's deal with you now. And that's when I met him. I met him and he met me. And we've been tight ever since. True story. Did I answer it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
But shout outs to the doctors who yell at you.
Yeah. I always find it interesting when people have when near death experiences. I mean, I don't wish it upon anyone, but anyone who has that a part of their testimony, it's always interesting how it's affected them, how it's changed their viewpoints in life.
That was the first time. Can I tell you the second time?
Yeah, because it's part of your story.
So that's connected to the blood issues I was having, the hemoglobin issues, and I had complications with my uterus where these tumors were just consuming it and taking the oxygen from the cells in my blood and just growing like there was no room for any kind of baby. But I never wanted kids, so I was cool with that, right? So the day came where they were like, you need a hysterectomy and you need it now. You're hemorrhaging. Okay. And that's the only time in my entire life where I was literally, honestly sad that I would not procreate. I never did want it. But the moment it was no longer on the table, I think I low-key mourned that no one would carry my bloodline. And I got over that because I was not trying to die. I was one of those people, like, if you're in a situation and they're like, it's the baby or you, I think I felt a little selfish. I was like, I would like to live. Let me finish whatever, and then I could always maybe get another baby. I don't know. But I never wanted one. So, but that was the only time where like it was heavy on my mind. I remember the night before the hysterectomy surgery, I was like, Jesus, I should have broke down and rendezvoused and had a kid. And that I just never wanted to. Like, but in that moment, I regretted or I lamented over the fact that, and I don't even know if it was like a conceited or selfish, like, you only want a kid because you want your bloodline to live on. So I worked through that. And then I woke up the next morning and it was my comadre there and my then best friend. And so my comadre took me to the doctor. We met to the hospital. We met my mom there, and she's already nervous. Mom's getting nervous. And it was only supposed to be a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Go in. And the only thing I told the doctors, please don't cut me because I want to be back to work in 4 weeks. Don't cut me. Get it, the other way. And so I think it's only a 2-hour surgery. I wake up 7 hours later with doctors scrambling. And the only thing I remember asking them is, first, I need my chapstick. And second, get my mom in here because I think you guys cut me. And so the nurses, they were all really cute little Filipino nurses. And they're all, Mama, Mama. And I'm all, I'm not your mother. But if you could call mine and ask her to bring my chapstick and my cell phone. And that's when I felt the whatever discomfort. And the doctor came in and he was, oh, you had us scrambling. And I said, okay. I was all like, 2 hours, what time is it? It was in the night. It was about 11 o'clock at night when they came in. And, but I remember here, this is what I remember. There was 3 of us that went in to that surgery that day. And it was me, a person. And if you're in the recovery room, it's just like curtains for walls because they wanted the nurses stations there and they just want to see everybody. Because you're hooked up to everything, and these pretend walls called curtains right there. This person flatlines. Gone. So I'm laying there and I'm all like, shoot, the angel of death is here. Let me thank the Lord that I woke up, and also be like, and forgive me of my trespasses, all of them, because this person didn't make it out. So I'm thinking, because I'm hearing the crash cart, the nurses, they're running like it's a whole ER episode. So I'm all like, and you can feel the heaviness, but I'm all like, where's my chapstick and where's my mom? Because I need her, because people are dying here. Moments pass by. Maybe there are more than moments. This person passes away. They go to this person. So I was all like, okay, there's 3 people that went in. I'm the only one coming out. And they just told me, I'm lucky to be here. I said, okay, so the angel of death was just trying to move in that whole recovery floor that morning on this October 2016, I think. But yeah, that was my first, my other time where I almost, you would have not met me, babe. And those 2 people did not make it. And I always think like, it could have been me. One of them could have lived, and it could have been me, but I'm glad it wasn't. But that always sticks in my mind, because it was supposed to be a 2-hour surgery, and you wake up 7 hours or 8 hours later, and I knew something happened, because when I woke up, besides the chapstick, besides I want my mom, besides these 2 people checking out, like something was different. I didn't see the white light. I didn't hear there was no heat. It wasn't purgatory. It wasn't heaven or hell. Just something I knew. The person that went to sleep that day was not the person that woke up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have the vernacular to even try to explain that like legit. I just knew something was different, and the clarity and the wisdom, but the clarity moreover trumped everything, because I woke up knowing whatever time I had left, whatever legacy I was going to leave, whatever things that I was born to create for the kingdom, it needed to, like, you know, when you put the key in the engine and you start your car and you start moving, that was the urgency that I got, and the clarity of what friendships needed to end, what relationships needed to end, which friendships I needed to lean into, to wrap up my career, to leave my independent living alone, like everything. It was like boom, 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 A, B, C, D. That's the clarity. So I can't even tell you like I had this white light or anything. It was just, I woke up knowing I needed to execute some things, and yeah, that was serious. Real talk. Was that a good answer? Because that was a real answer.
No, it was good. It was good. We're just gonna go to part 2.
Part 2.
Transferring what you just said.
Transferring.
So we will be right back after these messages. There's no messages, but we'll be right back.
2 and 2. Chuck Willery.